what you guys are going to be doing today, you are going to be creating something in Photoshop, a personal collage. This thing is going to be all about you. And let me show you what people have done in the past and also give you some pointers and tips, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to get images that are of you or that reflect your interests and your passions, and you're going to put them together in a collection in one Photoshop file, okay? This is an example of a collage of different images. Now, this artist, this isn't student work, but this is an actual artist, took different clippings from magazines and they arranged it in a shape. All right, the shape is the person's face, and they even connected like with a model's eye right here. But each one of these images, whether they be the colors, the fonts, the text, it all kind of works together. All right, it's not cluttered, but it makes sense with all of with the composition that we have here. Okay, now these are 9 separate collages, not one image, but these are 9 images all put together, so you can kind of give it an idea of what collages are. You're going to have 25 images. At least 25. And you're going to have to arrange them together. You could do it in the shape of something, but they all have to relate. And the way they're going to relate, it's going to be about you. Again, this should be a reflection of you and your interests. Right? It can be fun, right? But I also want you to be conscious of the colors that you're using. These are monochromatic images. Mono meaning one, chroma meaning color. So for each one of these collages, they're mainly red. This design right here, mainly yellow. You could go that route. I guarantee you, if you go that route, it's going to look really cool. So you can find images that all are one, color shades of the same color, and if you start to arrange them together, it's going to look really, really fun. Orange and green. You know how to use adjustment layers in Photoshop as well. You could tint things a specific color, right? You can change that layer, that image. Or you don't have to go monochromatic. You could just focus on a shape, a composition that you want to create with your images. But it has to be about you. So even the messages, you could get logos, or you could get popular, a drawing or something like that has a word or a phrase in it. As long as you totally agree or that it's about your kind of personality, use it. This is an example of what a student did, right? So this is student work right now. They're in the same position that you guys are in. This is their file that they created, and they went for the monochromatic. What color are they doing?
Red.
Yeah, red. Now, the background, they chose black. I would suggest not using white. If you use white, it kind of fights with everything. Black will fade to the background and really highlight what your images are that you use. Notice on this one as well, there's very little space in between the objects. Okay? So you can either layer things so that there is absolutely no space, or you can use that space to frame your composition. You could use a picture of yourself and have everything coming out of your head. Totally up to you. You did the assignment with, or hopefully you're finishing up with blending your images. So you could use a layer mask. And you could half hide and half show different images, layer them on top of one another. You could put a poem that you really like, that you think reflects you. Totally up to you what you do. These are all different examples of students in the past. So they're either my students or Coach May's students. This, I would stray you away from this. Okay? What color is the background? White. And I already talked about that. Black is a lot better. But also, do you see the amount of white space in between each object? It's distracting. It's too much. And so it appears cluttered when you do something like this. When you compare this to that. Or even this. So, make sure that the amount of space in between your objects isn't distracting. Make sure the background color is working for you. And I'm going to show you how to get started in Photoshop. Okay? So, everybody needs to do this together. So go to Photoshop right now. So this is my program. This is Photoshop. I was working on this before. I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to click New. So the new document that I have right now, the size of the file that you guys are going to create, we're going to enter in the same size. Again, you're going to go to File and New to get to this window. After you do File, New, you're going to enter in for the width. You're going to make sure it says inches and not pixels. So inches. And you're going to put down 14 for the width. You're going to put down 8.5. 8.5 for the height. The resolution that you guys are going to choose is going to be 300 pixels per inch. The color mode is going to be RGB color. And beneath that, where it says background contents, you're going to set it to be transparent. Those are the settings for this file that you want to make. Okay, so this is my file. I want you guys looking up at the board right now, making sure you see what I'm doing. You don't need to create a new file or do anything else. I'm just going to show you how I would start this out. Okay, I would start with a picture of me. So I have that from my phone. I emailed it to myself, so you could also airdrop it to yourself. There's a picture of me, Mrs. Lev, right here from our vacation during the summer. In order to open a picture in Photoshop, what do I need to do to this file?
Drag it to Photoshop.
Yeah, drag it to the icon and the bottom of the dock right down here and let it go in Photoshop. That'll open it up, okay? Now I want to get this picture from here to this file. Anybody remember how to do that?
Yes. Copy it.
Yeah, I got to copy it. If I go to edit, I can't copy.
Can you check these?
Yeah, come on in. All right, so how do I select this image so I can copy it? Marquee tool, thank you. All right, so I'm going to get the marquee tool out. I'm going to drag a selection around this picture. I'm going to say edit, copy. I'm going to go to this file and edit, paste. Now, when I paste it, it makes it its own layer right here. I can use my move tool to move it around the screen. Now, I don't want this picture to be the entire 8.5 by 14 image. So, this is new. I'm going to go to Edit. I'm going to go to Transform. And I'm going to go to Scale. I'm taking a screenshot of this, and I will put it up on the board while we're working. By scaling, I can make this bigger or smaller. Do I want to make it bigger? Yeah, so I'm going to drag the corner, and it's just going to make it smaller. So, by dragging the corner, I can make this as big or as small as I want. When I'm done, I have to hit the Enter key on the keyboard. That's the only way it'll allow me to do anything else. See, I'm trying to click on stuff and it won't let me until I hit Enter. Okay, so there's that. I can also go to Edit. Everybody look up at the board again. Edit, Transform, and I can do Rotate. Again, I get this box around my image, but this time if I drag the corner, I can rotate it any direction I want. So I'm going to put it over here. Again, when I'm done, I hit what key? Enter. That's right. So there's one image. Now, I have another one. I'm going to drag into Photoshop, open it up. This is, I don't know if you guys have been to Disney World. We went this summer. This is Tron. It's an amazing roller coaster. It's awesome. So again, it's one of my favorite roller coasters of all time. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to copy it. This makes sense for me because it's about me, right? And there you go. I pasted it. Now the thing with layers is that they're layered from top to bottom. So this image that I just pasted is above my picture. See, it's covering me up. I can take that layer and I can drag it beneath my picture, and now it's behind that layer. Again, I can go to Edit, Transform, Scale, and I can scale this down. I don't think it needs to be the entire size that it was when I first brought it in. So there's two images. I'm going to show you a trick. This is kind of advanced, but we'll see if you like it. This is me and my son, me doing the duck face right there. Again, at Disneyland. What's distracting about this picture? What's that? The lady, right? So I'm going to take my lasso tool, and I'm going to draw a selection around the lady. Oops, let's do that again. This is a cool thing about Photoshop. After the picture has been taken, you can make it better. So I've selected the lady. I'm going to go to Edit, Generative Fill. This is AI. It says, what would you like to generate? Remove lady. It's going to analyze the picture, analyze all the pixels. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but this time it definitely did. She's gone. It's pretty awesome. So, again, I'm going to copy this image. Let's copy it. I'm going to go back here and paste it. Again, I can reorganize my layers from top to bottom just by dragging up and down. I can scale and rotate this image if I want to. I can even apply a layer mask to that layer. And using my paintbrush with black, I can get rid of the edges of this picture. So these are all things that you know how to do because we've done it the past couple assignments. Last thing I'm going to show you guys is, let's see. I'm going to go to Google. Because a part of this assignment is getting content, not just off of your phone, but maybe even on the internet. I'm a big Marvel fan. So I want to find the Marvel logo. So when I search Marvel logo, I'm going to click images. There we go. There it is. I'm going to click on this picture, and it brings up a large version of it. And I'm going to say open. I'm going to right click it, and I'm going to open the image in a new tab. When that happens, I just get the image by itself, and I can literally drag it to my desktop. So now that image is on my desktop, and I can drag it into Photoshop. Again, I can scale it. I'm going to rotate it if I want to. Hit enter when I'm done. And now I have one of my favorite brands in here as well. So, any questions? Awesome.